with this guy?
I was taught, a method years ago when I was a police officer and when I was an FBI agent, and it was basically to put pressure on both sides of the carotid arteries to cut off blood flow to the brain or reduce it to the person's tainted. Right. And it supposedly did no permanent damage. The reason police departments banned it was because it was so easy to misapply it and put the pressure directly on the throat, directly choking the person, cutting off air, as opposed to making them effective. Sure, too easy to have access.
I get it. Sure. I agree.
Once they tried to take him into custody and
Big Mo.
it looks more like a horse collar tackle, and he throws his
Right.
arm around his neck and he's trying to bring him down. And in the process of holding him, he does have his forearm across his throat and his choking tongue. That is a poor tongue. It just seems like what we're talking about. He's choking, but he's choking him. The choke is not illegal. The grand jury obviously found it was justified in the circumstances. That's why they didn't indict. But he's choking the guy, Danny. Let me tell you one. How is that not a choke? He put his arm across him. He grabbed him. He held. The guy went to the ground. He held onto him the whole time there. It's a choke.
Chris, come on.
It's just a choke. The question is, what does the police do? But how is it not a choke? Well, I have to admit, in the last few days, I'm starting to question what exactly a chokehold is. Because there are many definitions. There are chokeholds. Well, let's take a step back. You're asking, we should take a step back and ask, all right, so you're asking, was there too much force? 5 police officers, however many officers, they applied pressure around the neck. Some people think that's excessive. Guys screaming, I can't breathe. And it's interesting you bring that up, because if you talk to law enforcement experts, they will, to a man, say that if a person is saying, I can't breathe, that means they can still breathe. But to a citizen, that sounds like, good Lord, if you can't breathe, sometimes you can say, I can't breathe, and it sounds a little harsh. So that goes to the problem right there, which is, when it comes to officer safety, if we tinker with it at all and restrict officer safety, use force. Do you think that's why they found it justified? But watch the force continuum as trained to officers. Once you make an arrest, everything is designed for officer safety.
Time now to take a look at the morning papers at 26 past the hour.
Woo.
Guardian, an Al-Qaeda affiliate in Yemen.
Oh, hot.
An American hostage following last week's failed rescue attempt by U.S. Special Forces. Luke Summers, a photojournalist, was reportedly abducted last year in a newly released militant...
That's not the Fox, man.
You look at it, and it's confusing in that regard. I think what's happening now...
Joe Deichmann. What the hell?
I think it gives you the power. If they were to do it, 5 of them stepped out without...
Joe Deichmann.
Would we be talking about it?
What the heck?
New York Times Magazine does something that...
All right, I give up.
The headline was, is the NFL the new tobacco is